here at Circuit of the Americas VP Racing Sports Car Challenge. It'll be down to about a 42-minute sprint. Once the green flag flies, the pace car heads to pit lane. LMP3 field down to turn 20. You see the GT cars stacked up behind. It starts with the GTDX pole sitter, Jake Walker, in his Turner Motorsport BMW. Up front, though, the rookie, Tunho, on pole in that purple number 31 for Gebhardt. Green flag awaits a little bit further down the straightaway. It is out. We're racing, and already I see a car out of line, and that's going to be a problem, Ryan.
Yeah, we saw that at Daytona, didn't we? Penalty, you can't change columns before you get to start-finish. Good job by Tunho, the pole sitter, making his series debut, getting to the top of the hill, able to lead the LMP3 class away. And look at the traffic jam in the GT ranks. GTDX and GSX all mixed together here at the very start.
Well, and we expect that. We talk about LMP3 cars do not have anti-lock brakes. They do have, we'll call it a rudimentary traction control system, but the GTDX cars, the GSX cars have anti-lock brakes and traction control. So on cold tires, they're going to be just as quick as these prototypes until the prototypes get that temperature and pressure. Already a problem for the 72.
Yep, exactly. That's Frank Depew with an issue there, able to continue on, change for the lead, and now it's changed hands again. Walker and Adelson have swapped that position a couple of times, and now problems here for the number 19 machine.
Brands with a problem in his Autotechnic BMW. Car was still moving, so we'll see if he can get either back up to speed, but the battle for the lead in GTDX is hot. Adam Adelson won both rounds at Daytona, qualified second here. He has some success ballast, the series calls. First, second, and third, the winners at Daytona got some back.
In the fourth spot as it stands, but I'm with you. At first blush, I don't think there was contact there, Brian. It was really, really close. Let's take a look at it now.
Coming into the S's, they turn in, and Walker behind him. No, they're separated by a couple of feet. But it's interesting, after Adam has gotten back on track, so to speak, I'm not sure the pace is there. Look at this. I don't believe there's contact there at all. I think perhaps Walker being there might take some air off the rear wing. Maybe the airflow's not the way it needs to be, but it happens so quickly. It also wouldn't surprise me if there's some kind of a mechanical issue. Maybe a shock has gone down or something. Watch how quickly this snaps.
So sudden, very strange.
And there's really not a lot of turning going on right where it happened.
And that was my thought as well. Great job, though, by both Walker and Muzz to get through that without making contact, able to continue on. And then you just have to wonder how much time it takes for...
Same time, both of those cars slowed. Like I said, it almost looked like, oh, I passed under yellow, please go by me. And then neither one of them returned to pace. Both cars now well off the racing line. I've not seen anything like this in motorsports before, other than the fuel issues that we saw at Daytona.
And all you could think is that maybe, since they are the two team cars, maybe they put the same amount of fuel in, and therefore they would run out at roughly the same time. But that is so bizarre. Both of those cars are stopped. Woolridge has come through. This is the leader of the race. From a minute back, all of a sudden he finds himself out in front here with 1 lap to go.
Jonathan Woolridge running in a podium position. He had good runs at Daytona as well. We talked about that. He was on the podium in the second race there, and a problem now for Kyle Washington. He's around.
Tremble before the might of Taurus!
And could it have anything to do with the car stopped on the track there? Anyway.
Yeah, just very odd indeed, but for Jonathan Woolridge, he wants to find victory lane. He knows he doesn't have those two Ducane's chassis in front of him. Catalano on the side of the road, as is the rookie Oscar Tunho. After a great race up front for those two, it is all gone by the wayside, and Jonathan Woolridge looking for his first win in 2025.
It would only be his second win in the VP Challenge Series. Won one race back in 2023, had a couple of podiums in a partial season last year. Former Radical Cup Canada champion finds himself in front with just a couple corners to go, Brian.
I believe it was Canadian Tire Motorsport Park that Jonathan Woolridge found his first victory. He's looking for win number 2 in VP Racing Sports Car Challenge. Woolridge, MLT Motorsports, onto the front straightaway for the last time. Looking for that checkered flag. It is up the way. It will fly. Jonathan Woolridge wins at Circuit of the Americas, and the GTDX winner right behind Jake Walker and Turner Motorsports. Taco celebration time in Austin.
And you just don't know what you're going to get. That's why we race to the checkered flag. An unbelievable sequence of events for Jonathan Woolridge to come to the front. Little less drama for Jake Walker. That was domination once he was able to get by Adam Adelson. And meanwhile, in GSX, Kiko Porto backing up a sweep of the weekend at Daytona. He's en route for a 3rd straight win.
What an impressive youngster, and this Rafa racing team joining with Smooge Racing has shown 2 powerhouses together certainly can get the job done. It's not over yet. I mean, I'm not going to give anybody anything, right, Ryan, after what we just saw. But for Kiko Porto, man, such an impressive debut in VP Racing Sports Car Challenge. He's being smart, working his way. He's got Angus Rogers right there in front of him. Don't do anything silly. He's going to make sure that he does what he needs to do. Angus Rogers is going, go ahead and go by me so I don't have to do another lap, right? But for Kiko Porto, Rafa Racing, they will win again in VP Racing, this time in the Lone Star State.
And Clemens and Porter has raced his way back up onto the podium. He had dropped back a